Hello everyone, welcome to this new Jenkins tutorial video. Today, if you stick with me for just 1 hour, you'll embark on a very informative journey through the world of Jenkins. We will start right from the basics and work our way up to an almost expert level. So, buckle up and let's explore the world of Jenkins together. Let's start with the installation process. This is Google Cloud. Let's start with creating an instance first. Give it a name. I am giving Jenkins Master. Rest of the things will keep as is. Just the disk size we will increase to 100 GB, and we have our VM instance up and running. Now let's SSH into it. First of all, we will see how to install Jenkins using Docker. To do this, we first need to install Docker in our VM. Go to this Docker official webpage. I'll put it in description section and copy one by one. Now, after everything is installed, we will test it by running hello world container. Yup, it is working fine. Let's do docker ps. Sudo docker ps. Now, this is our Jenkins documentation for installation. Let's start with creating network for Jenkins. We will do docker network create Jenkins. I again forgot sudo. Let's do sudo exclamation exclamation, which will run by adding sudo in above command. So yeah, our network is now created. Now let's copy paste this command, which will create image. Use the network and will mount the volume. Now customize the official Jenkins image. To do that, we will have to create a Docker file, paste whatever is there. And then build this new image. Now, after this is built, we will run this. Let's see the containers using Docker PS. Yup, container is up and running on port 8080. Let me copy this public IP and I will allow traffic on this port. I've given any access here. Remember, this is not secure and you have to allow access to selected IPs only. Now, let's go to the URL using public IP on 8080 port. Yeah, so we have successfully installed Jenkins. Now it asks to unlock Jenkins and it gives the path where we can find the administrator password. Go inside the Docker container using docker exec command. And then go to that path. Oh, sorry, it's not a directory, it's a file. We need to use cat command. Let's copy it and paste it here. Yep, now we can proceed with further steps. We won't be doing it right now, rather we're gonna install Jenkins on VM directly, not in this dockerized way. Let's see how to do that. First of all, we need to install JDK 11. Yeah, it's installed. We can check the Java version. Now, in the same Jenkins documentation, go to installation section, select Linux, and copy this long-term support release version and paste it on the VM. Afterwards, we will enable Jenkins using systemctl enable Jenkins command, followed by start Jenkins. Now let's go to the same URL again. Make sure you have removed previous Jenkins Docker containers, otherwise there will be port related conflicts. Again, go to this path in your VM and you will get first time administrator password. Let us see something interesting. Remember, this is for your personal project and not to be done in any actual real-time project. What if you forget the password and as you can see there is no way to recover it by clicking on some forgot password or any other way. In this case, you can go to your instance where Jenkins is installed. You stop the Jenkins using systemctl stop Jenkins command. Then go to var lib Jenkins. See the list of files. Here, you will see the first file config.xml. You do nano and go to this use security section and change true to false. Now start the Jenkins again. Go to that Jenkins URL and it didn't ask for any username or password. Now suppose we have a team where we have many folks like interns, developers, team lead and admin. How we gonna give different access to each of them? To do this, go to manage Jenkins, plugins and search for role. Select role based authorization strategy and install this plugin. Click on Restart Jenkins checkbox after installation is completed. Go to Manage Jenkins. Click Security. We will select Jenkins own user database. In authorization, select role-based strategy and save it. Now go to Manage and Assign roles. Admin is already there with all access. Let me add few roles and their respective access. Interns, developers would get all intern access and few more. Team leads would get all developer access and few more. Then save it. Now let's assign these roles. Anonymous should certainly not have admin level access. Let's go to manage Jenkins and then Jenkins own user database. Here we will create some dummy users and assign roles to them, like Prasoon intern, Prasoon developer, and Prasoon admin. Now give roles to all three of them. Go to manage and assign roles. Click assign roles, add user, give username, and Prasoon admin is assigned admin role. Prasoon developer is assigned developer role, and Prasoon intern is assigned intern role. In this way, we can limit the role of different users and save it. From now onwards, I will sign in using Prasoon admin, as I might need some admin level changes to make for the tutorial. With admin level permission, you can change the permission of other roles also. For example, here I have given few extra permissions to interns, which is generally not required. So I will remove that. Now let's create first freestyle project and run some basic commands in execute cell like pwd, ls and docker run. Remember, docker run command will only run if Docker is already installed. And in this case, yeah, we installed it in the very beginning. Okay, so it got failed. Let's check the logs. Yeah, so pwd and ls worked fine. However, Jenkins user is not granted permission to run Docker command. So let's fix this. Go to your VM terminal, switch to root user, and then add Jenkins user after root with all permission and no password. Remember, this is giving too much of permission. However, who can control the Jenkins configuration can be managed using role-based access, which we saw just now. So we can restrict Jenkins configured access to only team leads and admins like this. Save this. And then we will give Jenkins user access to run Docker command without using sudo. After making all these changes, you need to restart your VM. You can stop and start your VM. Remember, if you restart your VM, then your public IP might change if it is not assigned to any elastic IP. So you might have to change the URL. Let's use this new public IP and open Jenkins. Go to your project and build it. Yeah, it's successful. Now check the logs. Yep, everything worked fine. Coming to next topic, let's see most commonly used plugins. Go to manage Jenkins, then plugins and install these. Let's start with Inject, then SSH agent, CloudBees, publish over SSH server, and rebuilder. Install all of it. It will take time and then restart Jenkins. Let's wait for some time and we're gonna be using some of these plugin in next few minutes. Now let's see how to set up a slave node. We already have Jenkins master. We create another instance and let's name it prod instance. Select N2 and we can keep rest of the things as default. Just the size can be changed to 100 GB. And then create this instance. Wait for some time And yeah, prod instance is now up and running. Now we will SSH into this instance. Let's assume ours is a Dockerized Scala project which runs on this instance, and so we need to install Java, SBT, and Docker on this. So we will start with installing JDK. Then we're gonna install SBT. Let's copy paste from the documentation. Check the SBT version. Now go to Docker documentation, then go to Debian section and install it. Let's do Docker PS. Yeah, things are properly installed in my prod instance. Now go to the instance. I just want to see number of vCPUs present. It's not here. Let's click on edit. Scroll down. Yeah, here we can see we have two vCPUs. Actually, the rule of thumb is number of executors should be equal to number of vCPUs. Okay, so till now we are doing SSH directly using Google Console, which is certainly not the ideal way. To allow other user or Jenkins to SSH into your instance, you need a key. So let's generate one. Open putty generator. Link is mentioned in description for installation. Go to puttygen, click generate, and move your mouse here and there, and you'll get public key. This key comment is your username. I'm changing it to prod user. Now copy this key, go to prod instance, click edit, go to SSH section, add item, and paste that key. Save it. Now open your Jenkins, go to credentials in manage Jenkins, click global, then add credentials, select SSH username with private key, give any suitable ID. I am giving SSH GCP prod instance. Give some appropriate description. Put the username which you gave in putty, that is prod user. Private key, enter directly, add. Now you have to add private PEM file which you will get from puttygen only. Go back to puttygen where you have your public key for prod user. Click conversions, export open SSH key, give a name. I am giving prod private PEM key and save it. Now go to that file, open it and copy that key and paste it in Jenkins. Click create. And yeah, the credential is added. Go to this build executor status. Here we have only one node, which is master, where Jenkins is installed. Click new node, give a name prod GCP VM, click checkbox, create, and give some suitable description. Set number of executors same as number of vCPUs. Now remote root directory. Before this, let's see how any other user can access the instance without doing SSH directly from Google Console. So let's go to puttygen once again. As of now, we have seen public key, a private key of PEM format. There is another format that is PPK. We can get that directly by saving this private key. Give it a name. I am giving GCP prod PPK. Now open putty. Remember, putty and puttygen are two different things. This time we need to open putty, not puttygen. Copy this public IP of prod instance and paste it here. Go to auth, credentials, browse for the PPK file you just created. Go to session and open it. With help of putty, I am logging into this instance. Give username. Yep, now our instance is connected. Create a directory named Jenkins and copy this path. Remember, I could have done it directly by doing SSH from Google Console, but I wanted to tell you how to use putty. Give this path in remote root directory. Give labels such as SBT, Docker, Java. A script which uses any of these labels gonna run in this instance. Launch agents via SSH. And let's select only build jobs whose level matches with that what we have set. Inside launch method, give host as public IP. Inside credentials, select prod user and select non-verifying strategy and save it. Here we can see one more node is added, prod GCP VM with 2 executors. Click on the node and go to log. Yeah, agent successfully connected with these 2 executors. Let's create first pipeline job. Give any generic description and write some pipeline script. We have given agent label as SBT, so the given script is gonna run on that agent only. Create a stage to test parameters. Write these shell scripts and save it. Let's build the job. It failed. Looks like I have done some spelling mistakes. Let me fix it. It should be agent and it should be label. Let's build it again. Yeah, see, it's working. Notably, SBT is installed only on agent node, not on Jenkins master, which shows the script runs on agent only. Let's create one freestyle job also. We're gonna be using it later. Now, let us see how to use environment variable in pipeline jobs. We will write a script and in one of the stage we will set environment variables. Let's set some Spark name. And in next stage we will be testing it by echoing the Spark app name. and build it. Yep, it worked fine. This environment variable is set in that VM. Now, let us see how to do this in freestyle jobs. Open CI freestyle job, which we created just now. Go to configure, click inject environment variables, put that variable in properties content, go to execute cell and echo that environment variable. Save it. Let's build the job now. Yep, it's successful. In this way, we can set our environment variables and use it in our code. Now, let's see how to connect GitHub repo to your Jenkins. Open GitHub, click on top right, go to settings, go to SSH and GPG keys, a new SSH key, give it a name. I am giving Jenkins cred. Now, you need to put public key here. Again, go to puttygen and generate it by moving your mouse. Give it a proper name. Copy the public key. And paste it here. Click add SSH key. Now we need to connect it with Jenkins. Go to manage Jenkins. Click credentials. Go to global. Add credentials. Change it to SSH username with private key. Give a suitable ID like GitHub credentials. Put description. Give username what we set through putty. Jenkins credentials. Enter key directly. Here we need to add private key in PEM format. So we will have to convert it. Go to conversions. Export open SSH key. Save it with proper name. GitHub cred PEM. Now open that PEM file. Copy it and put it in key section and create it. Now open your GitHub repository. This is what we're gonna be using it in our Jenkins job. Go to your pipeline job. Click configure. Let's edit the stage as checkout. Go to GitHub and copy HTTPS URL of your repo and put it in the URL section like this. Here we have git branch as main and URL as repository URL, and for credentials ID, go to manage Jenkins credentials, copy the ID, and save it. Now build the job. Yeah, we can see it has checked out the last commit and we can even see the last commit message. So yeah, it worked fine. Now let's see how to do this in freestyle job. Go to your job, configure, click on GitHub project, give project URL, scroll down, choose Git as source code management, put your repository URL here, and your credentials which we created just now, save it. Let's build the job. Okay, it failed. Check the logs. Okay, got it. By default, it sets the default branch as master, but our branch is main, not master. Let's fix it in configure, change it to main, save it, and build again. Yeah, it's successful. It has checked out last commit. Now, let's come to other topic. How to SSH into some other instance which is not our slave. Let's create one instance. We will put all the configuration as default and create it. Now create SSH key for this instance. Open puttygen, generate public key, and change key comment to give suitable username. I am giving Jenkins test user. Copy this key, put it in that instance, go to edit, scroll down. In SSH keys section, click add item and save it. Now open Jenkins, add credentials, select SSH username with private key, give a suitable ID for this. We'll give username what we mentioned through putty, Jenkins test user. Enter key. We know we have to give private key here in PEM format. So we will have to convert it. Go to conversions, export open SSH key, save this file. Now let's open the file and copy this private key. And paste it in Jenkins. Then go to manage Jenkins, then system, scroll down, yeah, here inside publish over SSH. Paste that private key here. Click add. Give any name to your SSH server. Put VM's public IP as host name. Give username what you set through putty and paste it. Give remote directory which you're gonna access. I'm giving home path. Now test this configuration. It should show success and save it. Now inside configure of your freestyle jobs, click send files or execute commands over SSH. You will see SSH server has already been filled as I have only one SSH configuration. Now write some command which you want to execute on that machine. Let me create one directory abcd and build the job. It says successful. Open putty, give hostname of that SSH test server. Inside auth credentials, it is asking for private key. So open puttygen and save the private key, which will be in PPK format. Now select this private key and open putty. Log in by giving username. And as we do ls, we can see file abcd is created. Thus we did SSH into some other instance and created a directory there. Now let's understand labels of the slave machine. We have given these labels like Docker, Java, SBT. Generally, these labels describe what are the things present on this machine. Now, in usage, if we select only build job with matching label expression matching, then in pipeline script, we should give agent as one of the labels. Like we can give SBT in this case, or even Docker or Java will also work. You can use any of these labels in agent section. Now, if we put agent as any, then this machine is not gonna work. To make it work, we need to change usage to use this node as much as possible. No any restrictions of labels. We can save like this after making changes. Now let's see how to add parameters in Jenkins job. First, we will see in pipeline job. For example, to add a string parameter, we write like this. Give empty string as default value and some appropriate description and name of that parameter. Now to give choice parameter, we write choices and put all option in a square brackets like this and give some description. Also, we can give some boolean parameter which is just gonna be a checkbox. Just give any default value, description and some name. We're gonna print through echo statement the above parameters variable like this. Similarly, let me print other parameters. And then build the job. Okay, so again it failed. Got it. By mistake, I put all the parameters in agent section only. Let me separate agent and add parameters, save it, and build the job. Yeah, now we can see parameters. This one is a string. This is optional, and confirm deployment is boolean parameter. And build it. Yeah, the job is successful. Let us see how to add parameters in freestyle jobs. Open configure. Click on the project is parameterized. Select a string parameter. Give some description. We can click here and it will trim the string. Then select for choice parameter and give choices here. Then add a boolean parameter. and we will echo all these parameters. We can see this freestyle job is parameterized and you can fill the details. Yeah, job ran fine. Also, we notice one more thing. If you add these parameters in pipeline jobs, these things will automatically come in your job. So in pipeline, you can parameterize both ways through UI or through a script. Now let's see how to write shell script in pipeline jobs. So it is fairly simple. Inside the script section, write sh followed by command like a pwd ls who am I. Let's build the job. Yeah, we can see the output. Now, how to write multi-line shell scripts. It is certainly not the right way to write sh multiple times. So we're gonna replace it with three double quotes and write commands separated in different lines like this and build the job. Yeah, so it worked fine. Now, let's see another scenario. To understand this, we add sleep 10 so that job takes time to complete. Let's assume we have automated the job such that when anyone does any commit, the job runs. In this case, let's say you write a code, you commit it. The moment you commit it, the job is gonna run. Now you realized you have to fix one more thing. Then you fixed it and committed once more after few seconds. In this case, what will happen? The job is gonna run twice, but you do not want first commit to run. To do this, you can click on the option do not allow concurrent build and then click about previous builds. Let's save it and build the job. By the time it is building, I'll build it again. Yeah, so 19th number build is started. We can see it is not in queue. It didn't wait for 18th number build to finish. Rather, it stopped that build. This option is very useful in real-time deployment. Yeah, it worked fine. Now, as we can see, we have 19 builds and it will keep increasing. To discard old builds, you can come to configure, click discard old builds. Let's say I want to keep build of last 5 days only and I want to have max 5 builds. Now, if I build the job and then reload it, we can see only last 5 jobs and they will remain only for 5 days. Coming to next topic, how to run database query using Jenkins. Set up Postgres database anywhere, prefer Google Cloud. I have already done it. Now let's save the database password. Go to Manage Jenkins, click Credentials, Global, Add Credentials. We will save it as secret text. Put your password here. Give any suitable ID. We can set it as Postgres password. Write some description and create it. Now make sure you have installed psql in your instance. I have attached in description how to install it. Check it using psql space hyphen hyphen version. I have already installed it. Now go to pipeline job, click configure, add pg password in your environment variable, write the script, start with pg password followed by URL, DB name, username, and your query. Save it. Also, make sure this agent can access Postgres. Build it. It failed. Let's check the logs. Looks like I missed the brackets. Let me fix it. Yep, looks good now. And yeah, the job is successful. We can see the count here. You can secretly even keep DB URL also. Now, let's see how to send email notification. Install this email extension plugin. I have already installed it. Go to your Google account, enable two-step verification, click on it, and then scroll down. You will see app passwords. Click on it, and you can create new app. Let's name it Jenkins 3. Click create, and you will get this 16-letter app password. We're gonna need it in future. Go to manage Jenkins, system, scroll down. You will see extended email notification. Set SMTP server as smtp.gmail.com, port as 465. You need to give credentials. Let me show you how to add it. Click add, put username as your email ID, password as 16-letter app password which you generated just now. Give suitable ID, and you select that ID from credentials. Check use SSL. Now this is the subject with which you will receive email. Scroll down. Now you will get email notification. Put same things here also. Put your email ID as username and again put those 16 letters as password. SMTP port as 465. Now save it. Now go to your freestyle job. Click configure. Go to post build actions. Select editable email notification. We'll keep everything as default. Just the recipient list we can even change from here. We can put all email IDs separated by comma here only. Or in the settings section, we can add it in default recipients. As of now, I'll give my email ID. Let's save it. Fill the parameters and build it. Now check the logs. Okay, it says no email triggered. Let's go to configure. Scroll down. Go to advanced settings. Check triggers. So it says it triggers only if the job fails. We remove it and add trigger. Select always. Depending on your requirement, you can change it. For now, I'll only give to recipient list. Let's save it and rebuild the job. Now, if we check the logs, we see email is triggered. Okay, but again, I gave wrong email ID. Let me quickly fix it. It is prasunparashar8 at the gmail.com. Again, rebuild it. Yup, everything looks good. This is the email I got. Let's go to settings. So here you can configure various things like default recipients, reply to email IDs, default subjects, default content, and everything. You can even change default way of triggering email based on your requirement. Now let's see how to trigger email through pipeline job. You just write inside post, give email text. You can even use the parameterized emails like that of freestyle job. You can write something of your own. Put subject and to whom you're gonna send it, save it, and build it. Yeah, looks like it worked. Let me check in mail. Yes, we got the mail. Coming to cron jobs, how to trigger your job automatically. Go to manage Jenkins, plugins, search cron, and install parameterized scheduler. Now go to configure, scroll down to build trigger section, check build periodically with parameters. Now how to schedule it? You can use crontab.guru. Play with this to get familiar on how it works. As of now, I want to run every minute and save it. Now wait for 1 minute. I'll just fast forward it. You can see another job ran on its own and we have 24. And since we have added that email trigger thing, so every minute I'll get a mail. Now let's see something else. Imagine you have multiple folks in your team and many have access to change job configuration. Now you want to check who changed your job and what was that change, or you just want to see what you changed. We can achieve this using config history. Search for this plugin and you will get job configuration history plugin. Let me change this freestyle test job. As of now, there is nothing in job config history. I'll add a scheduler in this job and save it. Now, if I check job config history, we can see the date when it was changed, a username who changed it. Now let me change something once more. Let's save the changes. Go to job config history. We can see both the changes and the new option, show diffs. If we click this, it will show the difference in the configuration of both changes. We can even restore old config by clicking this arrow button and clicking yes. Let us move to the next topic. weather of the builds. We can see in front of the CI pipeline job it shows sunny, which means the job is working perfectly fine. Now let's go to the job and make some error in the script like removing any braces and build it. It is certainly going to fail. As it fails, we see it is no longer sunny, there is a cloud. When it fails again, now sun is gone, only cloud is there. Let's build it again. We can see rain is also coming. Build it again and we can see thunder. Build it again and we can see more thunder. If the job is fixed and it stops failing, gradually weather will also become sunny again. It just takes into account last 5 jobs. Now let us see views in Jenkins. To create a view, you can click plus, give us a table name. I want to put all freestyle jobs in one view. Let me select list view and create it. Select all the jobs which you want to be added here. You can play with all this. As of now, I will click OK and we can see this view added on my first page. This is certainly helpful when there are many jobs. Coming to the next section, how to use if-else statement in jobs. Go to pipeline jobs, click configure. We have this parameter. We will add one stage to give you this example. Define a variable which takes params.environment. Then you can add if else statement for the different environments, save it and build the job. Now if I check the logs, I can see if else condition worked perfectly fine. Now how to do the same using freestyle jobs? We will write if else like this. Save it. And build it. And you can check the logs. Yeah, it worked as expected. And at last, let's see what are the useful parameters we can use in our jobs. Here is the list of default parameters which I have used, and you can use it in your project for tracking build versions, auditing logs, etc. Let's run the job and see. Yeah, you can see these parameters in your code. That's all I had. Hope you enjoyed the video. Make sure you like and subscribe to this. Follow me on Medium and LinkedIn. See you next video. Till then, happy coding.